program the Lyon County Museum has held for the past 2 years. Once a month from October to May, kids and their families are invited to the museum to learn a lesson, and then there are hands-on activities involved. For the past few months, we have been unable to have time travelers due to the pandemic. With that, we decided to create videos. For our first video, the lesson is on the 1918 flu epidemic and the impact it had in southwest Minnesota. The activities are ones that kids would have done at home during that time. And now, here is the lesson followed by the activities. Camp Funson is thought to have suffered the first major outbreak of what would become the influenza pandemic of 1918. Recruits arrived there in early March from Haskell County, Kansas, where influenza was known to be. Within a few days, soldiers at the camp began falling ill, and some infected soldiers had already been deployed, thus spreading it to Europe. The first wave of influenza was serious, but not nearly as malicious and deadly as the wave that struck in the fall of that year. The first flu case in Minnesota was reported in the last week of September. In Lyon County, there were several residents who became ill due to the influenza. Many of the illnesses and deaths occurred in October. The October 1918 edition of the News Messenger of Lyon County recorded the heavy toll the influenza had in Marshall and Lyon County in the last week. According to the paper, it was stated, "Never in the history of Marshall has there been such a death toll from any cause in so short a time as has been brought to us during the past week by the influenza epidemic." On Sunday morning, the health authorities and the city council were called together by Mayor Williams, and it was voted to immediately close all public places, and orders were issued closing the schools, churches, theaters, candy shops, and pool halls. The Gallatin Hospital was started in November of 1918 because of the flu pandemic. Dr. Charles Germel was the physician. A trained nurse, Pearl Siebert, came from Tyler to be in charge of the hospital. According to the 1920 census, a Clara Peterson was a nurse at the hospital as well. The Gallatin Village Council and local health officials decided on establishing an emergency hospital in response to 2 men of the railroad bridge crew taking ill with the influenza the week prior. According to the Gallatin Centennial Book, published in 1992, there were at least 3 babies who were born at the hospital in the time the hospital was in existence. The Gallatin Hospital continued to function until September 2nd, 1920. The equipment from the hospital was then sold to the Tyler Hospital. The photograph featured shows a building on the left side. This building housed the First National Bank and Anton Hummerberg store. The Gallatin Hospital was located upstairs. At the top of the stairs, there were 6 rooms for the hospital. Those rooms were on the right side. And on the left was grocery storage and Hummerberg's living quarters. During the time of the flu pandemic in the fall of 1918, residents were encouraged to stay home. Schools, churches, theaters, and some businesses were closed. While home from school, kids were often busy with chores, but after chores were finished, they engaged in outside play activities like marbles and jump rope, and indoor activities like making paper dolls. The next few slides will have information on those activities for you to try out at home. Popular activities for children in 1918 included jump rope, marbles, and paper dolls, to name a few. In 1918, there was a popular rhyme that children would innocently sing during the time of the pandemic. This rhyme was, I had a little bird, its name was Enza. I opened the window, and influenza. Another popular activity was marbles. In 1915, mass production of glass marbles began. It is still the most common way to make marbles today. For paper dolls, the paper dolls that were created in 1918 were often dressed as nurses or soldiers due to what was going on at the time with World War I. On our website, www.lioncomuseum.org, on our Time Travelers page, there is a list with the activities in addition to links and more information for you to experience these activities at home. Thank you for watching our Time Travelers video. As we head into summer, we hope you take the time to enjoy the activities. As a reminder, the information and links are available on our website. There is also information on how you can share photographs of you enjoying the activities. Lastly, if you have ideas for future content for videos for the Time Traveler series, please let us know. We would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you, and make it a great day.